Türkmenistan'ın ilkinci TürkmenÄlem 52 gradus Y emeli hemratyny üstünlükli uçurmağa ve älim giňişligini çykarmağa ak fata berýär. Ýolun ak bolsun. Türkmen milli emeli hemraty.
Şol pursat TürkmenÄlem 52 gradusya ilkinji türkmen aragatnaşyk hemraty älim giňişligini uçurly.
3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 0, 1, 0. We have liftoff the Falcon 9. We have liftoff the Falcon 9.
Şeýirlikde Aşgabat wagty bilen 4 saat 3 minutda türkmen aragatnaşyk hemraty Güýgürs toplumundan badalga bellenlen kada laýyklykda amala aşyrly. Hemranyň tolkunlarynyň täsir ediş dolugy Ýewropanyň, Aziýanyň onlarça döwletlerini, şeýlede ýakyn günne görüň we demirgazyk Afrikanyň ýurtlaryny öz içine alýar. Hemranyň düzgünnamasy Türkmenistana Ýewropanyň we Aziýanyň ýaýlymlaryny alyp görkezmekde üssaşyr ýurt hökümine hereket etmäge mümkinçilik berer. İlkinji türkmen emeli aragatnaşyk hemratynyň bitaraplyk we paragatçylyk ýylyna älim giňişligine çykarylmagyny döwletimiziň tutuş ýer ýüzüniň halklaryna iyi beren dostluk salamy diýip atlandyrmak bolar. Munyň özi hormatly prezidentimiziň başçylygyna Türkmenistanyň tutuş adamlar üçin
prezidentimiz Türkmenistanyň ilkinji TürkmenÄlem aragatnaşyk emeli hemratynyň üstünlükli älim giňişligine çykarylanda baradaky hasawaty siziň dikkatyňize getirmäge ursat bermeňizi haýyş edýär. Hormatly prezidentimiz, Türkmenistanyň aragatnaşyk emeli hemratynyň älim giňişligine çykarylmagy bilen tüý sürekden sizi gutlamaga ursat etmeňizi haýyş edýär. Kahraman arkadaşımız, sizin milli kostagertliğinin önünde koyun anık tavsiyelerinizi bundan meylaka kıyşarlıkta yerine getirmek için canımı da yaman. Diyeceğimiz gün ne dedik? Ahmet Çekçekli'miz var da anlarmalamızı kabul etmenizi haşa ediyorum. Mertebede Belent Prezidentimiz, oy sizin canınız sağ, ömrünüz uzak, Belent başınız aman olsun. İyi urt tefrit alıp barayan tutumlu işleriniz bundan meylakamı ravac alsın.
aragatnaşyk ýola goýuldy. Halkymyz üçin şatlykly we taryhy waka öwrülen TürkmenÄlem milli emeli hemranyň älim giňişligine çykarylmagy, hormatly prezidentimiziň milli ykdysadymyzyň ähli ulgamlaryny sazyşykly ösdürmek, ýurdumyzyň puwdaklaryna ýöňdewazy tehnologiýalary, kämil tejribeler ornaşdyrmak babatda durmuşa geçirýän döwlet ýazatynyň rawaçlyklary we senýänliginiň aýdyň subutnamasydyr.
Habar berilişi ýaly Türkmenistanyň TürkmenÄlem 52 gradus Y milli aragatnaşyk emeli hemratynyň älim giňişligine çykarylyş dawarasy boldy. Beşany waka uly setlenme döredip türkmen halkynyň ýürek buýsanjyny öwrüli.
Our track. It's not go where no man has gone before, as they say. It's really all about letting our planetary scientists be the pioneers, be the group that scouts the future and looks at resources that we can use on the planet. What are the things they need to know to be able to safely land, live, and return from Mars? The scientific knowledge, the technologies that we need that can make human exploration of Mars happen are within our grasp. In our lifetime, we actually can see humans land and work on Mars. A major step in this direction of planning has been the definition of what we call human exploration zones. This is a region we will land, we will live, we will use resources in many different ways, and we want to go to a variety of scientifically exciting locations. Do it in ways that humans and only humans can do. And so our orbital assets are critical to be able to determine and look for those right landing sites. In addition to that, you may not know that they are also relay satellites. These relay satellites are critical to support our landed assets. Our communication will also increase significantly from typically the radio frequencies that we use today to perhaps optical communication. That'll be a critical communication technology that will allow high bandwidth data, voice, but also video, so necessary to support human exploration on the surface of Mars. There's a variety of in situ resource utilization experiments that are being thought about and planned. These are important to understand the area of our landing sites. Power systems and energy systems will be deployed that are very new and unique. Supply of oxygen and carbon in the atmosphere is how we can extract oxygen in the quantities, but also sufficient water. We now know there are regions on Mars for which there may be an abundant source of water. So these observations that we are making are revolutionizing our concepts of how we're going to use the resources to live and work on Mars. So, why are we going to Mars? Well, because as scientists, it's really a step in terms of finding life beyond Earth. You know, exploration is really in our genes. It's a very integral part of what we are all about as humans. But as a human species, if we're going to survive, we need to move off this planet and on to the next object. And Mars indeed is that next object. So Mars gives us a wonderful opportunity to explore scientifically today. But in our future, it is a location where we can go, we can live, work, in addition to return.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Korea and Turkmenistan, a Central Asian country rich in natural resources. The two countries have developed closer cultural and economic ties in recent years, with a growing number of Korean companies doing business in the country. Our Kim Hae-sung is in Turkmenistan with more.
Korea and Turkmen engineers working side by side. Welding, tubing, piping, cracking natural gas into polyethylene and polypropylene, which can be used to make value-added goods like plastic.
As holder of the world's fourth largest natural gas reserves, Turkmenistan is looking to diversify its oil and gas industry, investing tens of billions of dollars here in Kianli on the Caspian coast to build a gas plant industrial complex.
With a population of just 5 million and 90% of its land covered by desert, more than half of Turkmenistan's GDP comes from hydrocarbon gas like natural gas. A former Soviet republic that gained independence in 1991, Turkmenistan is trying to reduce its reliance on Russia, opening a new pipeline to China in 2009 and industrializing through infrastructure building and gas plant projects like this one between Korea, Turkmenistan, and Japan that started in Kianli in 2015.
From design, engineering, construction to commissioning, we planned each stage in advance to make sure this mega project runs smoothly and safely. Once complete, the plant will produce around 50 tons of gas a year, contributing at least $700 to $800 million to Turkmenistan's economy.
3 kilometers in width and length. At the gas plant site, over 12,000 workers from Hyundai Engineering and Turkmenistan's state-run Turkmen Gas work from Monday to Saturday. The extremely hot summer weather and occasional sandstorms make working conditions difficult and unpredictable. But seeing each other almost every day, the two countries' people have developed a solid working relationship.
Working for the last 2.5 years with the Hyundai people who have technological expertise and a great work ethic has been a wonderful experience.
The $3 billion gas plant project is scheduled to be completed by next year, and Hyundai Engineering has already started the handover process with training programs for local engineers underway. But it's not an end, rather a new beginning that will likely open up new opportunities for the two countries as Turkmenistan aims to diversify its oil and gas industries and Korea seeks to find a new growth engine abroad. Kim Hae-sung, Arirang News, Kianli, Turkmenistan.
The leaders of Turkmenistan, Afghanistan and Pakistan celebrate with the Foreign Minister of India the completion of the Turkmen section of a gas pipeline. The Trans-Afghanistan pipeline will transport natural gas from Turkmenistan to Afghanistan, Pakistan and India. Developed by the TAPI Pipeline Company, it will create about 12,000 jobs.
From 2015, we have done a lot of work in order to reach the current phase of the project. We've concluded our work in Turkmenistan and we now move to Afghanistan. We plan to finish the job and put gas in the pipeline towards the end of 2019.
Of course, a country which we have high risk of security, but in the meantime, we have full preparation from the government side for protecting TAPI. We are aware of the risk, but we also understand that TAPI is such an important project that not only the government of Afghanistan, but also the people of Afghanistan will do whatever they can to protect the pipeline.
The pipeline will run more than 1,800 kilometers to the Fazika village on the Indo-Pakistani border. It will provide Afghanistan with 14 million standard cubic meters per day of natural gas. Turkmenistan always had large gas fields, but its transfer to other countries proved difficult. TAPI strengthens the economy of Central Asia, opens up new fields of cooperation, while it boosts the energy sufficiency of the 4 countries involved in the project. The importance of the TAPI pipeline was underlined by the presence of many government representatives from the wider region. They all highlight the fundamental role of the pipeline.
Afghanistan needs economic stability aside to really create also political stability in it. People there, they need to create revenue and income for them, industries, businesses. So this pipeline is going to really provide for these kind of needs and requirements in Afghanistan. Eventually, this is also moving to Pakistan, moving into India. The connection of the 4 countries, I think you will see also an exchange of knowledge, know-how, investment between all these nations.
The first train launched from Kazakhstan to Iran via a new train route through Turkmenistan. Launching of the railroad has already been called as a new milestone in the relations of the three countries. The long-awaited highway was opened solemnly by the state leaders. Nursultan Nazarbayev, Gurbanuli Berdimuhamedov, and Hassan Rouhani became the first passengers who happened to pass by the new branch. The new road is the shortest lane route that will connect our country with the multi-million-dollar market in the Middle East. Businessmen are already waiting to send their products through this line. The project, without exaggeration, is profitable and promising. Kazakh-Turkmen section of the railway was put into operation last year. The new railway fully met our expectations from the point of view of its effectiveness. The cargo carriage between the two countries has increased by 40% over a short time. Today, we will take part in the opening of the Turkmen-Iranian section of the transnational railway. From now on, transport networks in Central Asia, the Middle East, and Europe will be connected through this single link. The total length of the highway is 928 kilometers. The railway begins from Uzen in Kazakhstan and passes through the stations Kizilkaya, Bereket, Itrek in Turkmenistan, and further leads to the capital of the Iranian province of Golistan, Gurgan City. Next is the direct access to the port of Bandar Abbas in the Persian Gulf. Offered is the shortest path to the world markets through this line. On the one hand, it is an output to the Middle East. On the other hand, for the Baltic region, Europe, and the third path is China through Kazakhstan.
Как известно, является очень благим делом строительство дороги, строительство мостов.
As it is known, the construction of the roads and bridges are a very good deed, as it was said in the Quran. And the three presidents have done a great job for our people. Firstly, there is always thriving life near the railway. People find work, develop their country as well. Secondly, the trading is developing between the three countries. Thirdly, the transit is developing all over the world. So in fact, we have created a new Silk Way through our three countries, Kazakhstan, China, to the Pacific Ocean.
Во все другие страны мира.
We live in a period of great change, of discovery and technological innovation. All areas of science are experiencing this progress, including healthcare and medicine, which have taken huge leaps forward in recent history. This quantum surge in medical knowledge and ingenuity is similar in importance to that which occurred in the Arab and Islamic world over 1,000 years ago. It was a storm of knowledge and enlightenment that still echoes in the halls of hospitals and clinics today. From the first accurate descriptions of the circulatory system to vaccination, surgery, and establishing the first real hospitals, our ancestors built the groundwork of modern medicine. The scientists of that age were often prominent in a number of subject areas. Abu Bakr al-Razi, known more popularly as al-Razi, was a shining example of this. He lived around the turn of the 9th and 10th century AD and made fundamental and lasting contributions to the field of medicine, chemistry, music, and philosophy, which is documented in over 200 books and articles, and made many discoveries in medicine through his own observations and experiments. Among his many medical achievements was to differentiate between smallpox and measles, which used to be confused before then, and identified fever as being the body's natural defense system and not a disease in itself. Possibly his most famous work is the extensive medical encyclopedia in 9 volumes called Al-Hawi. When it was translated into Latin more than 300 years after his death, it had a big influence on the course of medicine in Europe. Equal, if not of greater influence in Western Europe, was the comprehensive work of Ibn Sina, the Canon of Medicine, which was translated into Latin and used as a textbook in several universities until the middle of the 17th century. It is best known for its scientific approach to medicine, based on experimentation and quantification, describing known contagious diseases and sexually transmitted diseases, and introducing quarantine to limit the spread of infectious diseases, in addition to predicting the existence of microorganisms. In surgery, other physicians left their legacy, like Abu al-Qasim al-Zahrawi, who identified 200 surgical instruments, many of which are still used today. He also introduced plaster for setting broken bones and catgut for stitching wounds, a practice still used today. Ammar ibn Ali al-Mawsili is also notable for inventing the injection syringe and hypodermic needle for the extraction of cataracts in the first successful cataract surgery. While Ibn Nafis was the first to accurately describe the blood-breathing and circulatory system in a manner comparable to modern medicine. And those were brilliant men of science that still shine bright in the stars of science galaxy.